Confidence is about how you see yourself. Welcome to the Uniquely Confident Podcast.
Yo. Positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. It's your boy RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman. And yes, this is another great episode of the Uniquely Confident Podcast. Yo, I am delighted tonight. I am happy because I am sitting here on this podcast and I'm about to have a great episode with not just somebody I know, but actual fam. Somebody I consider and I know as a part of my family. So right now, you guys know when I get excited, I sometimes want to run around and do things that's not part of the protocol. So I'm going to calm myself down, do what I must do, and do it right. I'm going to pay the bills and talk to the Father. So with that being said, Heavenly Father, we thank you for another day. We thank you for our life. We thank you for health. We thank you for our strength. We thank you for a second chance. We thank you for grace. Right now, God, we actually look over us as we go across the airways that we may be a blessing to somebody where they need the most, building their character and their confidence. These things we do pray in the utmost, in the Most High's name. Amen. All right, I got that out. And listen, that was hard just now. So the excitement is running through my veins right now. So bear with me. So tonight's paid sponsor of the Uniquely Confident Podcast is them guys over at It's Now or Never Entertainment. For all your music needs, whether it be hip hop, R&B, gospel, you name it, those guys over at It's Now or Never Entertainment are fantastic producers. And listen, for all you content creators out there, if you have a project, some reels, short films, long films, any kind of production needs, you need to get some music behind it, I'm telling you right now, I got a hack. Go over to them guys and use the word uniquely, and they'll give you 50% off on any beat in the beat store. Don't ask how. Don't get in my business. Don't get in my business now. Just go over there, shop smart, shop black, and let them know that we sent you over here from the Uniquely Confident Podcast. So with that being said, guys, all my excitement, I'm about to get this man on the stage. Please do me a favor. Give him a warm welcome to Uniquely Confident Podcast. My man, my cousin, Eddie Grant. Welcome to the stage, King. Welcome to the stage.
Damn, what's good? How we doing?
Oh, man, I'm blessed and highly favored. King, how are you?
It's another day in paradise.
Yes. Yo, you know what's so crazy, Eddie? Like, we live down in South Florida, so we really mean that. So to all our family out in New York, we don't apologize.
Hey, but you know what though? When I say that, I'm referring to paradise being in the mind.
Ooh, you starting off good. You starting off. You starting off swinging, and you coming out off the fence swinging already. So I ain't gonna play with you. I ain't gonna play with you. We're gonna get right into it, bro. Do me a favor before we start jumping into conversation. Let them know who you are and where you're from, bro.
Hey y'all, I appreciate you for taking time out for tuning into this episode. But my name is Eddie Grant. I'm originally born in New York, raised in South Florida, and I'm family with Roderick here, RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and I got a couple transformations that I've done in my life as of recent, inside and out and outside, and I'm just here to really just share them with you. So I'm really excited to be here with this podcast, and I'm excited to share the best things about me that have made me better versions of myself.
Nice. Let's get it. Yo, so we're going to jump right into it. So the people that don't know out there, like what most everybody don't know. So we're cousins through marriage. See, he's actually married to my wife, Cassandra. He's cousins to my wife, Cassandra.
Not in Alabama.
Right. None of that weird stuff, right? We never promote none of that weird stuff. But seriously, he's the cousin to my wife, and we met years ago now, over 10 years ago now, and from the time we met, we just clicked, and it's been awesome since the beginning. And since the beginning, when I met Eddie, he's always been motivated and geared to do something. Like when I first met him, he was moving around in the networking. He was just constantly moving. I was like, yo, this kid is driven. This kid's he never sits still. Like I would always look up on the gram and see him doing something. So I'm just excited to have you on the platform, bro, and I'm just excited to see the journey you've been on, bro, and where you've come from and where you're going right now. So I'm super excited, man.
Fam, it's an honor. I appreciate it, man.
Indeed. Yo, so here we go. Let's get it.
Before get started, man, I really gotta say though, like we wouldn't even be here if you weren't on your own journey, man. I know I've told you this before, but I gotta be on the books. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be on the record. Bro, I remember years ago, like when you mentioned when we first have met, and I remember you would come you would come to me, we would speak, as we regularly would, and you would share with me that like as a man you felt kind of like lost and not knowing what to do. You know what I mean? You had constant pressure of trying to be the man that you're supposed to be. And I remember you were like kind of thinking of which career to go to, what to do. You're trying to go legit, really. I think this your first time coming from New York.
Right.
I remember, man. You was telling me how you really love Cass and wanted to settle down with her and everything. And it's just to see how you've come from that conversation that we've had, multiple of those conversations we had way back when, man. See you in your thing right now. It's just it's just a blessing, dog. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, man. For real, for real.
Yo, and I tell everyone, like anybody who's like who's been a part of the journey and seen it over a substantial period of time, and to hear somebody say that, it means a lot, because you remember what I was on, like you
Yeah.
remember like the agony, the pain, and just the distress and all those things that came along with those conversations.
You was almost
So
ready to
like,
go back.
huh?
You was almost ready to go back.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like,
like on
you was
numerous
like
occasions.
on the fence, man. You was teetering. Like I was like, no, man, come over on this side, man. Like, don't do that.
Yo, and you know what's so crazy, because like we could talk about that for a little while, because like that's what characters built at. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, in order, and I'm learning this more and more each day. In order for you to say you to have something that's substantial, it has to be tested. Like, and
Yeah,
in order to say you have character, your character has to be proven.
for real.
And
Absolutely. And
man, let me tell you,
character is,
those times tested me, bro.
yeah, I believe it. But you pass those tests, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And there's
thanks
gonna
be
be
to God.
more, you know what I'm saying? But it's like character, the best way I can describe it is like who are you when no one's looking? You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? How and that's like a real big way in how I live my life now. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't hide who you are too long enough. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you ever dated somebody in the beginning they one way and then afterwards they're like the jig is up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
totally left.
Representatives.
Yeah, right. Because you're not dating them, you're dating their representative, and it's the
Facts.
same thing. You can't date life with your representative. You know what I'm saying? You got
Right.
you're 100% self all the time, and life knows that about you. You know what I'm saying? And it'll expose you.
Yo, let me tell you, like that exposure thing too is so real, because like for so long, bro, like I tell everybody, for so long, I've learned how to pretend to be everyone else. Like
Hmm.
growing up, bro, like I was so fearful of just being myself, because I didn't think I was enough. So I did my best to try to find who I thought was cool, right? Or who I thought was that guy, or that individual, for me to pretend to be, so I could be liked or I can be received. So it wasn't until a few years ago, really, like around the time I met you, when I realized, like, yo, I'm enough. All I
Hmm.
have to do is just all I have to do is exist first and foremost as my authentic self. I just have to be whatever I am right now, and
Yeah,
then work from there. But I
yeah.
was I was conditioned, bro. Like, and like so many of us are, is we're not enough. You got to be more. You got to be like this person, or you got to be like that person.
That's a lot of negative conditioning that we get too.
Yeah.
From a lot of it's from a culture standpoint, man, which sucks. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
Mhm.
people get bashed for being broke or for trying to find their way in life, but it's like who that got it all together. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You
Like, so
nobody knows nobody with it all together.
like I'm wrong for like not being perfect, but then you don't know perfect people exist. So it's like, what is this
Right.
nonsense?
Right.
You know
Literally.
what I'm
And that's
saying?
what it
So
is, bro. Nonsense.
yeah, foolishness, man.
Bro. And like the more I actually sit back and I analyze like just my own way of thinking, like, yo, my coach asked me the other day, she was like, why are you so why are you so fearful of being judged? And I was like, I don't know. Like we was having a conversation where she was just digging into me. And why are you so fearful about being judged? And then like come to round the end of the conversation, realizing that like because I judge. Like that was a hard
Mm,
thing for me to realize. Like, yo, I I'm fearful of being judged the way I judge others. And I'm
mm,
like, yo, that's a character deficit that needs work.
yeah.
And this is how you get better by identifying where the work needs to be done and then not just stepping over it, right? Like not just saying,
Right.
oh well, I see what that is on the floor. Let me just go ahead and step over that and keep it moving. No, identify and now deal with it, right? Because my thought process now is like, yo, I can't be nobody's judge. Like
Mhm.
I definitely don't want to be judged. Before that, I can't be nobody's judge because I didn't create no one. And the
Word.
children that I created was given to me by God. So even then I didn't create.
Mm-hmm.
So and I had to stop being a critical individual because my biggest fear is being critiqued in negative ways.
Mm. But you always have to think in a sense like who are we to judge? You know what I mean? Because
Right.
um, if our heavenly Father can accept us for who we are, why can't said person down the street or whatever? But then even at the same time, I forgot where I heard this the first time, but it's like if you were to take your problems and put them like in a pile with other people's problems and you see the problems that they have, like you would be like rushing to go and grab yours back. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's like you
Right.
don't know what people going through. So it's like we can't judge them. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't judge each other. You
Right.
know, and one thing too is that you shouldn't judge yourself either.
That's a
Because
fact.
when you beat yourself up, you don't have yourself to defend yourself from yourself because you're too busy beating yourself up.
Right. And you worn out from the beating you gave yourself, right?
For real.
Like, you're beat down from the beating you gave yourself. So now you can't even defend yourself from yourself.
Straight up.
That's like crazy. And like yo, and it's that's amazing. Like when you really look at it, it sounds like a joke, but when you really think about that, it's really real. Like because someone just recently expressed taught me about energy, right? So
Mhm.
the reason why you feel so worn out after you've worried about something and like it stressed you out, you feel like, oh my God, I need to take a nap, is because you really use energy. Now you
Mhm.
might not think it because you can't see it, right? But in no actuality, you've taken the energy, your physical energy, your body, your spiritual energy, you've taken it and putting it into a future event that you really have no control over. You've taken that energy and you've placed it in the future, which was
Yeah.
depleting your current energy. So after you sat there and like you worried yourself half to death about the situation that you can't control anyway, now you're depleted. So now you can't be effective. Now you can't go forward. Now you feel like you're procrastinating. It's a negative cycle, bro, that I actually seen myself go through. And like a few of my guys, I'm like, yo, this is identifiable. We can definitely beat this, but you gotta get inside of that cycle first, though.
So we worried about 95% of the things that we worried about don't even happen. You know what I'm saying? That's just energy from the first.
Word.
It just goes out. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So like now,
Yo,
what I've learned a couple things is that like especially for my second portion of this like transformation, because I got two separate ones that I went across. You know what I mean?
mm,
For the second one, it was more like, what would I do if I couldn't fail? You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like how I'm working on now. And then it's like I'm looking through for a corridor that has what I want on the other side. And I'm knocking on several doors, none of them will open for me. But I'm like, I know one of these gonna open.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And eventually one did. And the problem what I think a lot of people do is that they knock on one door, it don't open, and they're like, man, this ain't for me. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like this dream life I have is just that, just a dream. And it's like, nah, man, like, if it was given to you, whether it be a vision, a dream, even a daydream, like it was given to you. You know what I
right.
mean? and it's special. It was delivered specially to you, and you should act on it. No matter how long it takes, no matter what it takes out of you, because I honestly believe that that's what purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like we're not put on this earth to just like pay bills and die. We're not put on this earth to just like hold up traffic. We're not put on this earth to just you know what I'm saying, like take the trash out. Like
Right.
it's everyone has a unique gift and talent, whether they know it or not. But it's like if you don't act on it or even try to look for it, you're really doing yourself a disservice, like big time. Because it gets to the point where you could never find your true happiness. You know what I mean? When you don't go after something like that.
Facts. Yo, and that's a major part of my coaching program, bro. Like you can't be confident if you're not working towards something.
Mm-hmm.
Like because let's talk about life itself. There is no standstill in life. Either you're going forward or you're going backwards. Either you're living or
Yeah,
you're dying. There is no
that's
teeter totter in the middle. So, in
like a
order for you to
treadmill
be confident,
going,
say it again.
like a treadmill's going.
Hmm.
If you stop moving your feet, you're gonna fall right off.
That's it. That's it. Each and every
Yeah,
time. And then
yeah,
there's no middle ground. That thing is gonna keep going. Like that, and that's exactly what life is. So
yeah.
we have to understand and be okay with that because that is life, and that's how and that's where character is built inside of those situations and circumstances. Like and the and for me the most thing I've been trying to convey to most of the men that's in the group is that yo, in order for you to truly have that confidence, you have to know your purpose. You gotta be on and after your purpose. Once you figure that out, everything else is downhill. I'm not saying nothing else is gonna come to you. Is gonna be peaches and creams. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying
No,
it's gonna be downhill motions. You have momentum. You have a different energy to outlook at life. You have a different love and passion to do other things in life.
absolutely, absolutely.
So yeah, my wife has to bring me some more water. She's chasing the kids around the house. Excuse me. So now, first question I got for you, E.
Sure.
Where does your confidence come from, bro? Like, where do you find your source? Where is your energy of confidence? Where do you find it?
Man, my confidence, I can honestly say, I- it grows and it started from one source, which is my heavenly Father, because I believe that no matter what I was going through, Job 13:16 says, though he slay Job 13:15 says, though he slay me, yet I trust in him.
Mhm.
So I would always tell myself, like, no matter what kind of crazy situation I'm in, like, and this too shall pass, but also there's a lesson in everything.
Right.
And I would always have a debriefing with myself, and God or whatever I pray. If it was something good happened, what happened, Lord, that was good that I can learn from that and I can do it again. If it was bad, all right, Lord, what happened? What was that? What can we do so it don't happen again? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I never tried to make it personal. I always understood that God's correction is not chastisement.
Mhm.
And but then also once I stuck to that mindset, and I stuck to the work that was set out for me to do, and I was consistent with that work, I started getting more confident from the work that I know I've been doing. So then
Mm.
it's like you can't talk to me no certain way about XYZ because I've been doing this for how
Mhm.
long now, and I got a
Yes.
track record. You know what I'm saying? I got track record. I got, what I'm saying, I got receipts. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I got witnesses. So it's like, I don't know what kind of jury you're gonna put me in front of, or who your judge is. I don't even need no lawyer in court. I can represent myself. And I'll still
Right.
beat the case. That's the confidence I have now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and because you've put the work in, and like you're not resting on someone else's work, right? You're not sitting here standing on someone else's work saying, you know what, they did the work, but I'm confident in them. No, you know what you poured into yourself.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know the hours, the sweat equity you put in. You know all the long nights, all the early mornings. You know this stuff, so therefore it cannot be taken from you. The only way it can be taken from you is you give it away by not
Absolutely.
remembering those receipts, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's the
And
only way.
starting listening to doubt, because it's like, I feel like no matter what level you're at, there's always going to be doubt, because
Oh, hell yeah.
I believe that you should never get satisfied with any level of satisfaction, any level of success that you get. Because there's levels, from between landing your first client to like having your first, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 figure week. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like, there's levels to success, but you can't get comfortable, because it's like you only reach at that level to look and see what the next level is.
right.
You only peak to peak. You know what I'm saying? Like, you peak to peak, and that's it. To see what's next.
That's it.
So you always constantly got to be able to be in that mind frame of, like, like, we just getting started. We just getting started. We just getting started.
And that goes to that consistently learning, right? Like,
Yeah.
and also when you constantly pouring into yourself, like you said a few minutes ago, can't nobody tell you that you didn't do that work. Can't nobody tell you that you don't have that knowledge, right?
Yep.
And that's something that you can rest on, that you've put the work in. And then a
Yep.
lot of times, and I've been guilty of this way earlier in life, and like even sometimes now, like, oh yeah, I say I'm doing the work, but yeah, are you really? Are you really doing the work, right? Like, are you really putting that work in on a basis to where you're working on your character throughout the day, right? Like
Yeah.
early in the day,
Word.
I had a situation where I was coming out of the parking lot, and I'm driving out of the parking lot, and I was in the wrong. Like, I had a stop sign, and I wasn't paying attention, and I was rolling right through it. But when I went to go look to see was a car coming, there was somebody that was about to walk into the crossway.
Mhm.
Now I hit the brakes. Now at first my initial response was like, "Yo, you crazy? Why are you walking in front of the car?" But I was wrong. I had to check
Yeah.
my character at that point. I had to check myself. Yo, you know what, my brother? I apologize. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I almost hit you. Are you okay? He's like,
Mhm.
nah, I'm cool. Everything is good, brother. Just be careful. I was like, yo, you're absolutely right. I need to be more careful. I apologize. Have a wonderful day. Right then, I had to check myself. Like
Yeah.
that right there is character development. Like, that's working on yourself in game. I call it in game situations, because
Mhm.
right now we could sit here and talk about all we want to, but in moments like that, are you really going to check it? Right?
Yeah. We talking about like, um Indianapolis, Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? Calling audibles at the line. You know what I'm saying?
Word, word.
Dog, gotta stay on your toes.
Yeah, facts,
Because
facts.
these tests will come out of nowhere, and they come in the most inconvenient times. But we don't get the luxury of picking and choosing. When life's tests come about,
Right.
we just the only thing we can do is, in the beginning of the day, we make a predetermined decision that I'm going to uphold the standard. I'm going to uphold myself to a standard, and no matter what happens, I'm going to do my best to keep myself to that standard. And it's like you got to keep making that decision over and over and over and over and over again.
Bro. And I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I'm always transparent. That should be getting tiring, bro. like, 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 yo, because like, yo, I mean, like at some points in the day, I'd be like, yo, people, I don't care. I'm just tired of this, bro. Like, you just stressed out, and it's like, yo, you've been up all day, like, and like I tell everybody, like, get up early in the morning is wonderful. It starts your day off beautiful. Like, you
Yeah,
have the time to do whatever you need to do, set your day up perfectly.
everything's
But I
quiet.
swear, Eddie, getting up at 4:30 in the morning has adverse effects after 9 p.m. Like, I swear to God.
Things get crazy. I know if I ever get up at 4:30, it's like I go down with the sun. You know what I'm saying? The sun goes down, I just be like, ugh.
Yo, my goodness. I
Like,
see my body's gotten more used to it recently. Like because I've been doing it now for about like almost 2 months now. So like my body is getting just at that point where it's just waking up now. Like now I'm waking up at 4 o'clock. It started at 4:45 to 4:30, 4:15. Now I'm at 4 o'clock, just waking up before the alarm gets up. So that's a good thing. But after the hours of 9, like my brain starts to slow down. Like my patience level starts to decrease.
Yeah.
So it's definitely one of those things, man. So like I can definitely take this conversation on a mean tangent again. But I got another question for you.
Sure.
Now this podcast is called the Uniquely Confident Podcast. And in order to be confident, you got to understand there's something unique about you.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What's unique about Eddie Grant?
I like what Dr. Seuss says. He says, you are you, and you're the youest you, and no one can be you, or something like that. But no one can be youer than you. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel threatened about nothing that's mine, because it's mine. It has my name on it.
Right.
And you know, and I know my name. I know who I am, and I know where I've come from, and I know what I've done. So when I show up in the room, you know, I'll show up in the room because God sent me. You know, I came to claim what's mine, and like that's it. You know, I don't ever feel threatened about no one taking anything that belongs to me, because you have what's yours, but if you don't work for it, it will go unclaimed. You know what I'm saying? And I have what's mine, and I'm not scared to work for it either. You know what I mean? Like
heavy.
That's how it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. You know, like for example, I don't believe in like that crab in a bucket mentality.
Okay.
Where people want to fight over a specific people in a specific niche. How do you say that word? Niche.
Well, either way, niche. I say niche.
In the specific niche, they want to fight over a market. You know what I'm saying? Over a space, and it's like, do y'all know like how big what XYZ market is? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you really think of it, you probably only need like, I don't know, according to what your prices are, let's say you only need like 20 clients to have a really good month. And there's 50,000 of them just like within a half a mile radius of where you live. And you fighting with one person down the street because they're in the same niche as you. Why don't y'all just collab? You know what I'm saying? Quick example. So like in college courtyards, there would be a Coca-Cola vending machine, and then there would be a Pepsi machine, put one right next to the Coca-Cola machine, because now what ended up happening is that both soda machines profit revenue went up 200%, because now instead of saying, do I want a Coke or nothing, they're saying, do I want a Coke or do I want a Pepsi?
So they're gonna spend no matter what.
They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? So like, people be wanting to compete over the nonsense when instead they should collab. You know? Yeah, bro. And it happens too much in your culture, bro.
Yo, you know what's so crazy, bro? Like, I'm glad you broke that down. I'm glad you said that, because literally, that's part of our problem as a culture, that we're so busy competing. And like, the crazy part is, you don't know no part or no one on this earth that says there's not enough earth, right? There's not enough earth for everyone out here. Like, there's more than enough. There's more than enough everything, right? Like, we're fighting over things that continuously reproduce themselves based upon our reproduction. And then all we have to do is live our lives and do what we're supposed to do. And we're already guaranteed, like you said, our name is already planted on what's ours.
Yeah.
But we're so caught up in a lot of the truth of the matter is,
you gotta redeem it though. You still gotta redeem it.
The truth, but they don't. First, before you can redeem it, you gotta know who you are first.
Right. It's a lot of soul searching, and a lot of reflection, and you gotta be honest with yourself on a lot of things.
Word, and that's scary. That's scary to folks.
Tough pills, you know what I'm saying? Like horse pills.
Yo, elephant tranquilizer pills, right? Like those
like big, like huge.
Yeah.
Things back.
Yeah, nah, and let me tell you, like, Like what's so crazy about those pills, Eddie? I'm glad we're talking about this because after you take you bare your teeth and grind and get those big horse pills down,
Yeah.
that's where the healing is at, right? Like that's when you can actually walk free. Like
Hmm.
when you actually just being honest with you. Like I
Yeah.
think that so many times we don't know how to even talk to ourselves. We think that being honest with ourselves mean that we have to confess it with somebody to someone else. I think that if we would just learn how to just be honest with self, right?
Yeah.
Just sit alone and just tell yourself the truth. Like, yo, you know what? I might have messed up. Yeah, yeah. Or I did XYZ. Or and
Mm-hmm.
just confront it. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't take you having to I think that we're so caught up in the social media era to where we have to post everything that we feel like if we're really honest with ourselves, someone's gonna know it, right? Because we gotta post it or someone's gonna see it in our stories or something.
Yeah.
I just think that we have to learn how, like you said, just get in touch and be okay with self and tell self the truth.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yo,
I
so
feel like when you go too long without being honest with yourself, that's when depression sets in because it's almost like your avatar, the person you're pretending to be, is like, oh, I'm sorry, the person that lives within inside of you. You know, that's playing out this facade of a life that you're going about.
mhm.
Is tired of doing that, and that's where you get burnt out faster, in my opinion.
No, you absolutely right. There's and like
From
because you
the
know what's so crazy? Because I can speak to that firsthand. Because yo, I was so tired all the time. When I was
bro,
trying to be somebody else, Eddie, I was literally exhausted all the time.
and like I have 9 hours of sleep. I don't get it. Drink a Red Bull. Like,
Yo, I'm talking about I'm drinking coffees on, and I'm like, yo, I went to bed for 8 hours, and first thing in the morning I need coffee, and then like by 2 in the afternoon I'm sleepy. Yeah,
crash.
because I'm wrestling with myself,
Nah,
like
man,
I'm wrestling emotionally, like because think
I'm
about
thinking
this.
you have more days in the week now where you get less sleep, but you get more done and you're more happy about it and you have more energy.
Way more energy. Like I was just telling you a few seconds ago at 4 in the morning, I'm popping out of the bed like, oh, time to go.
Yeah. I get to do this. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that right, that yo,
This.
those two words, Eddie, that word change changed
Yeah.
everything, even in my household. Like, even with my wife, like we changed the word have to get. Oh, that's a
Mhm.
game changer. Yo, I get to get up in the morning and go to the gym. Or I get to go pick up my kids from school. Or
Yeah.
I get
Word.
to walk and be on my own terms. I get to be able to take the garbage out. Like all these things, if you change the word from have to give, a get will change your whole outlook on it.
Absolutely.
Yo, so now I want to break and ask you a question about your transformation, bro. So you spoke
Sure.
about two transformations. Let's talk about the first one. Let's
So,
take us on that journey.
man, the first one is where I learned to change my relationship with food. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Um, and a lot of it was like I had to be honest with myself, in regards to like uh first off, I realized I ate way too damn much. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like man, it was ridiculous. Like once I really like had it all out, I had my curriculum together as far as how and I'll get back to that too. Um yeah, man, I changed my relationship because food is fuel and it's nutrition. And you can't overfuel a car. It'll stop when the nozzle will stop. It'll say that the pump is done, the receipt will
word.
print out. But if you overfuel a human body, it'll be stored as fat, and it will be there until further notice. You know what I'm saying? And that fat can cause complications. It can cause extra weight. You know what I mean? It can hurt your skeletal structure. And it got to a point where I was pre-diabetic.
Mm,
At 32 years of age, I was pre-diabetic. I had hypertension. I used to get crazy migraines, like very often, like at least like 4 times a week, 4 or 5 times, like so bad, like the rest of my day is done. Like I can't do nothing. I would feel them coming on, and I'll try to like scramble to go grab a Advil liquid gel, and I'll like pop them in. I try to take a nap, but like if I'm not like in bed taking a nap within like 10-15 minutes of initially feeling it, it's gonna be ridiculously pounding. Like the lights are so like make it hurt more. Smells, I would get nauseous. Like it was so bad. So I knew I had to do something different. I remember I had such bad inflammation in my joints that my back hurt real bad, and my left hand, I couldn't close my left hand all the way to make a fist. You know what I'm saying? So like I couldn't even like train martial arts how I wanted to. And the biggest thing that made me do all of that was, to be honest, my love for martial arts. Because I never really cared to work out just to look good. Like even though I live in Miami, I'm not superficial like that.
Right.
But I believe in working out to be able to perform. And
Right.
if you're able to perform, especially under high stress environments, a byproduct is you'll look good. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like Bruce Lee, he can do some work. You know what I'm saying? And he looked like he can do some work. So I guess one nugget I could leave is like have goals bigger than yourself. Because if my goal was to just lose weight, I would still be trying to just lose weight. You know what I'm saying? My goal, and it still is to step into the cage. Like what's crazy is that this summer I'm finally doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm stepping into a mixed martial arts competition. You know, at
Woo!
150 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Coming down from 245 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that. But not necessarily. I mean, the fight is gonna be the easy part. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, because this has been a long, long time coming. But it's more so the person that I had to become to be able to be in the position to even say what I just said.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It
No,
takes
when yo, I'm gonna take this minute and say congratulations, because like that's major. Like that, yo, when you said it just now, I'm like stepping
Thank
in
you.
MMA. I'm like, whoo. Like, yo,
Yeah.
first of all, like when you the statement of you making the person you had to become just to
Yeah.
make the statement, like
Uh-huh.
that's no light matter. That's one of the
Yeah.
heaviest statements we've made on the podcast tonight. Like the person you had to become just to make that statement. Like
Yo, I had to
that's
evolve.
power.
Bro. I had to evolve and like constantly evolve. And
Mm.
that's just the first one. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a point now. I feel like I'm evolving so fast that it's like if you ain't talked to me in the last 30 days, like you don't know who I am. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not recognizable to you. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
and that's evolution for real, bro. Like, and Jay-Z said it before. You think I did all this just to stay the same? Like you think I went through all this just to stay the same? Yeah, I'm acting different. Yeah, I'm brand new. You're absolutely right.
It's
Like
funny.
I
I
didn't work
met
this hard to stay the same.
yeah, I met a girl the other day. I bumped into a girl the other day that I knew from high school, and she followed me on Instagram. And but I didn't mention nothing that like I recognized her from high school. But she was like, "Oh, you're Go Get Eddie," and I'm like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "Oh, it's nice to finally meet you." And in my mind, I'm like, "You've been met me," like you know what I'm saying? But like, but I don't. I guess I don't. I guess I look different. I kind of look
Yeah,
different.
yeah, no, Eddie, you do. You definitely do
But
like a different individual.
I know one thing for sure. I carry myself different. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And like,
And
that's the one thing about it is like you have no other choice to carry yourself different. Like when you do the work, it's inevitable. Like
mm,
it's like you said about like the Bruce Lee thing. It's like when you're doing the work, your body tells the story. Like
yeah,
you couldn't
absolutely.
slouch right now and be hunched over if you and if because you've put the work in to raise the standard of your body and you're
Listen,
doing the work consistently. So you could not. You know what I'm saying?
let me tell you something. This is an excerpt from my book too. Your body will display publicly what you do to it privately.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? It'll expose you, whether you're doing good or bad. It's gonna expose you. You
Yes,
know what
it
I'm saying?
will.
So when summer come around and everybody taking their shirts off, either you'll get someone that's gonna be like, "Yo, what you been doing?" Or you get somebody like, yo, like what you been doing? You know
You
what I'm
gonna be like,
saying?
yo, I'm gonna keep my t-shirt on, bro. I'm good. I'm good.
Like, right? Or you can be in the water like this in the pool, like.
Nah, I'm
Hey, Trevor,
good. I'm good.
I'm right here. I'm good. I'm good.
I'm gonna stay on the deep end.
Yeah.
Yeah, all kind of excuses, all kind of excuses. But yo, Ed, let me tell you, I've been there, and like I was there about a year ago. Like,
Yeah.
so what happened was when my daughter was born, I completely lost myself.
Mm.
Now, what happened was I got so caught up in just trying to be the best dad I possibly could be. Like I was trying to be a 20-year dad in the first 2 years of my daughter's life. Like I was trying to be around every moment. I was trying to be in front of her every waking moment of her day. I was trying to consistently be in her face. I was just trying to be an all-time dad, right?
Yeah.
But in order to be a real all-time dad, you got to be here, right?
Yeah.
And the habits that I had were not suitable to keep me here over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Yo, to the point where Eddie, like when we first met, like still a gym head. I love the gym. I'm a gym rat. Yo, for 4 years, my daughter was born for she was 4.5. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't touch nothing. I didn't work out at all. To the point where I was looking up and I'm like, oh, I got a dad bod. My stomach comes further out than my chest. That's crazy.
Crazy.
Like I'm actually starting to have to move my stomach to see my penis. Like, wait a minute. Like that's how you know you're doing bad. Like when you gotta like that's the beginning phases. Huh?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, that's the beginning phases. And I was like, wait a minute, like this is bad. So I had to recommit myself to myself, right? Like because before I'm somebody's father, before I'm somebody's husband, I'm a man to myself. And I gotta
Yeah.
perform for myself so I can be who I need to be for them. So on your transformation, the question I have for you was like, what made you do it? What was a turning point that told you, you know what, this is it?
I didn't. I wasn't comfortable in the body that I was in at the time
Mm-hmm.
because you are not your body. You live in that body, and but you don't own it. You lease it, and rent is due every goddamn day.
Every
You know,
day.
rent is due every day. Maintenance is required every day, and you can't shy away from none of that because the only person that benefits is you. The only person that suffers is you. You know what I'm saying? And I had to be honest with myself, because like I said, I always wanted it to to take a fight. I always wanted to compete again, and I couldn't do it in that body. So I knew that I had to do something to lose the weight, but I couldn't even work out because my body hurt so much. So I was like, let me start with the nutrition. I got introduced to a low carb lifestyle that I still follow to this day. To this day, you know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out Deontay Wilder, man.
Word.
Another black king. But like I said, I had to change the way I looked at food and nutrition because there's a book that I read. It's called "All You Can Do Is All You Can Do," but all you can do is enough. As long as you all you can do. So at the moment, all that I could do was watch what I eat. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I got introduced to this low carb lifestyle. I was like, let's do it. I started counting my macros. Started making sure I drank more water, cut out sugar and carbs. I kept it as best as I could to real food. And I still would I didn't go drastic because I would still have cheat meals along the way. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I still had days where I picked out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have whole boxes of Little Caesars. I have whole pints of Ben and Jerry's back to back in one sitting. I've done it. But because I've been able to set my macros, and if for anybody that understand, doesn't know what these are, and I'm talking like crazy science talk. Macros are just like your macronutrients, like your carbohydrates, calories, proteins, and fats. These are just the different sources of energy that your body uses to pretty much um, have you function properly. So back to where I was before. I had it all planned out, so I would be able to have a meal like that and pig out, and it would not affect my dissension in weight. So it took me 21 weeks to lose over 50 pounds,
Wow.
and it was mainly fat, mainly body fat. So I went from like 26% body or 30% body fat, something like that, from the beginning. It was probably like 33% body fat down to 14% body fat. And I was able to keep my muscle mass. So even though I wasn't working out, I looked like I was. So it's like, imagine having the same body. Imagine walking around with a weighted vest and weighted pants and weighted shoes.
Right.
And then you just take them off. And you was moving all of a sudden. You're like, yo, this is
right.
Nice. Man, that's exactly how I felt, because I had the same muscle mass. Didn't have the fat that was hanging off of me, but then I was like, and the inflammation was gone, and I was no longer pre-diabetic.
Right.
I wasn't having migraines no more. My joints weren't clicking. I was like noticing. I was like, yo, I can like do all of this now. Like let's get to work, So I started. Second transformation is where I started working out. So it's like I added on to the nutrition. Now I added on a fitness routine, and this is what I can say people are seeing now. You know what I mean? Where like now I just turned 34 like 2 days ago.
Right. Congratulations. Happy birthday on that once again.
I appreciate it. I've never had a six pack in my life. You know what I'm saying? Not even when I played football in high school or where I went in college. None of that, bro. And then it's like now it's like I'm packed up out here. You know what I'm saying? Like
yo,
I'm still not used to it. It's crazy.
I gotta get I got 4. I gotta get the last 2. The last 2 is killer.
Yo, man, abs are made in the kitchen. Abs are made in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm struggling at in that kitchen.
Bro, listen, grab my book.
Word, I definitely am.
Like a go-getter, so you can live like a goal-getter. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, listen. Yo, as a matter of fact, we're gonna put that in the description. Let them know where they can get that book at, bro.
Yeah, man. My Instagram right here is go-getter Eddie. And you can find my book right in the link in my bio. It'll have the tab right in my link tree of Eat Like a Go-Getter. And I also have all the different like tools that I use that are referenced in that book or in my Amazon shop. And what else is in that link in my bio that you can use? Oh, my Twitter's on there as well. If you want to connect, send me a DM. We want to chit chat, got some questions. If you're looking for online coaching, that's something also that I do. I help people find pretty much how they would be able to adopt the low carb lifestyle that I have and make it for themselves. So it's like I kind of like tailor fit it for them. And then I coach them, and we do weekly assessments, and I hold them accountable to the goals. And I kind of like hold their hand and walk them through the steps that I went through already. So that way also they don't have to make the same mistakes that I did.
Yo, and that right there is what coaching is all about. Like that's the reason you hire a coach, so somebody can literally take you from point A to point B and help you get there faster, right? Like that's because to avoid the potholes and the things that are along the way that are designed to slow you up. So that's what coaching is all about. So if you're out there and you're looking to make the transformation in your body, listen, holla at my man Eddie. Go over there and make the decision. Don't hesitate. Don't question the process. Just make the move. You know that you want to be better. You know there's another level. You know that your body wants more from you. So if you know all of that, you know you can make a difference. So go. Don't hesitate. Go over there and make that call. Huh?
You owe it to yourself.
Oh yeah. You owe it to your future.
Stop playing with yourself. And for the people that have kids, I'd be like, why wouldn't you want to be in the best physical health that you possibly can if you have children? You know what I'm saying? Like I got a dog, and I'd be feeling like, I gotta, you know what I'm saying?
So you gotta be around for Pooch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right? Dude, man, like I'm gonna be a granddad one day. I gotta chase some little ones too. Like, you know what I mean?
Yo, but now it's crazy because that's one of the biggest fears as a father, like leaving your kids on this earth, like especially me, like nah, like we gotta make sure. Like I tell my wife, I was like, we gotta make sure that we do things right because we gotta be here. We gotta be here to see the grands running around. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be here to see. I want to see the great grands running around. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be the old man counting his own teeth in his mouth, sitting around talking trash all day. You know what I mean?
You, dog. I'm living through you. Living through you, fam.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be out here as long as possible, man. Like I'm just trying to enjoy this journey, man. This is a phenomenal ride, man. I'm so glad about it.
For sure.
So I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
In your transformations, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the hardest situation or circumstance that you had to get through that gave you more confidence?
What was the hardest situation or circumstance that I had to get through? I would say it was like what is even like a situation or circumstance. It was more like a season. And it was a season of darkness and loneliness that I went through. I recently buried my dad on September 1st of 2021. And sometimes you would think that people that are closest to you would be there for you. And you would get left in your darkness. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like you can't be surprised with betrayal because you can only be betrayed by someone that is by your side. That's the definition of the word. So I had to understand that like my happiness is my responsibility.
Right.
My energy is my responsibility. The things that happen outside of me have nothing to do with what happens inside of me.
Correct.
I had to every single day, every moment of the day, every minute on the minute, I had to constantly remind myself that I am in charge of my inner world, and the more I can be in charge of my inner world, the more I can change my outer world. And that's what's been happening, and like even till now, like even being on this podcast with you, like everything feels so surreal. Like I literally I'm working my dream job. Like I never thought I could ever say that right now. Me coaching mixed martial arts at the UFC gym, in beautiful Midtown Miami. Like it's just I love the people, I love the energy. The people I work with are amazing. You know what I'm saying? Even like the environment, like, and then what I do, and it's like I use every skill set that I have. Whether it be sales, personal training, coaching, nutrition, talking to people, reading body language, like every skill that I've ever acquired, like I use them all at the same time. So I'm never bored in there. You know what I mean? I'm always like, I always feel like I'm living my purpose, and I do the same thing like on the side. You know what I mean? So it feels so surreal. Like, man, like I'm really doing this, and it's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, people call me for advice. Like it's crazy. It blows my mind. Where like
Yeah.
I'll post a picture because like the first started right where I was I just got used to doing the habits of because first I was like, all right, first thing we're gonna do, we're not gonna have no seconds. You know what I mean? Next thing we're gonna do, we're not gonna drink our calories. So no juice, no sugar, The next thing after that we're gonna cut down on the carbs. You know what I mean? So I just made sure I did that. Every time I was about to eat, I'm like, wait, what is this? I look at it, I examine it. Well, okay, you pass, and I eat it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was militant like that for a long time, unless it was like my cheat meal. Man, I'll go ham. I went way hammer than I should have. But regardless of that, yeah, you know what I mean? But the thing is that like I forgot where I was going with this, but what was we saying?
It's all good.
What was I saying just now? I'm just like rambling right now.
Nah, it's all good. We see, I'm following the conversation just now, so I forgot what you said earlier. We were talking about the cheat meals and going ham.
Right. So I'm getting used to the habits, right? I'm just getting used to the
Yes.
habits, and I'm like making sure I'm I'm just focused on the habits. And then I remember one day I went to put on my pants. I normally will put on my pants, and then I would like hold like they would stay on my body, and I'll go walk over and grab my belt. I put on my pants, and I reach for my belt, and my pants drop. And I was like, I picked the belt up, I reached my belt, and it dropped again. And I was like, yo, am I getting like pantsed by a ghost or something? Like, what's going on? And then, I just noticed, like, and I grabbed my pants again, and I noticed all the space that was inside my pants, and I was like, "Whose pants are these?" You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. What's going on right now? Because like I wasn't like, "Oh, I gotta lose this weight." I wasn't obsessed with the
Yeah.
end result. I was only obsessed with what I can do right here, right now.
That habit, that
I was
every
just
day.
doing all that I could because it was all that I could do at the moment. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then I remember one day I was looking in the mirror and I was like, I think I look different. And then I was like, I took a picture of myself and I was looking at it like, who, like, first, I like, who is this person right here? And then I found the old picture of myself and I put them side by side and I was blown away. You know what I mean? And at that point is when I got a scale. I started documenting things, and I was like, "Yo, I'm on to something. Like I'm on to something." You know what I mean? I was shook, and I was like, "Yo," because the crazy thing is, at first I wanted to compete at 185 pounds because I haven't weighed under 200 pounds since 2006. And at the time when I started this, I was 245. You know,
Wow.
and but now I'm walking at 190 and I still eat whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm way too close to my competition weight, so I'm dropping another weight class to 170. You know what I mean? But it's like it's crazy to even be saying this stuff, man. It's just crazy.
Yo, first of all, Eddie, I didn't even know, I didn't even know you was at 245. Wow.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
large in charge, my man.
And that's the one thing about, like, it's so crazy because I have people call that their eating or habits a problem. I have the reversed, right? So when I get stressed, like, people eat, I don't.
Yeah.
So it's like I could pick up weight and I can drop weight in the week because I just won't eat. Like if I'm stressed out, my mind is constantly working or thinking about paying a bill or just the everyday stresses. I'm not taking care of my mental. Oh, I can
Yeah.
look up and realize, like, wait a minute, I've eaten in 3 days. Like, oh
Oh,
snap.
Lord. No, that's really bad.
Yeah. So like that's why, like me, I have to be more conscious about eating. Like I gotta be more conscious about putting things into my body. Like, all right, you gotta be focused. In the morning, like even on my calendar, it's literally a part of my calendar for me to stop and eat. I have to stop,
Yeah.
go in the kitchen and make myself a meal and eat.
I'm like that when I'm like working and I'm in a role, but it's not like a stress thing. It's more like I'm in the zone and I don't want to lose this like piece of concentration that I have right now. You know what I mean? And then it's like when you get in the zone like that, it's like you get outside of time and then you literally blink and you're like, who turned off the lights outside? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, it's
Like,
nighttime now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
when I went in the office, it said Monday. It's Tuesday. like,
yeah,
like,
right.
it's,
Yeah, it be
like,
like that, man.
how the heck did this happen? Yo,
Real.
even like in this conversation, like, yo, it's an hour already. Like how did that happen? Like this time literally will fly.
We're doing the introduction.
Yo, it feels like that, right? It feels like we just literally started. But yo, listen, man, this conversation has been dope. But I have one more. I know I said what before. I have one more question, but now this is it, the final question of the evening. What advice would you give a person that's struggling to just get themselves started, to start their journey of becoming a better person, whether that be in their character, their confidence, their physical, their mental, just to the person that just feels stuck? What advice would you give them, Eddie?
Man, a person like that, I would tell them to remember the ABCs of goal getting. And what that is that first A, you gotta have attendance. You gotta show up every single day. You can't like skip a day and then try to double up for it on the day afterwards. You gotta show up every single day. And the B, what's your behavior like when you do show up? Are you looking to outdo yourself from the day before? Whether it's fitness, in this, are you showing up every day to your workouts, and are you looking to outdo yourself from your last workout, whether it was in that earlier that day or the day before, or even at work, are you looking to outdo your performance you did the day before, or earlier that day before your lunch break? You know what I'm saying? Because it's always the extra mile that's never has traffic, and then
Right.
the C is curriculum. Like, what kind of plan are you following with these goals that you have? And you need to have all three. Because the thing is like Will Smith said it in his YouTube video that I love. You don't go out to build a wall, you go out to lay a brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. And then you do that again and again and again and again. But all you're focusing on is laying that one brick.
Right.
That one brick. If you're looking at run the journey of the journey of 1,000 miles always begins with the first step.
Right.
So just think one step at a time, one breath at a time, keep an empty mind. So definitely be ready to show up every day, have an attitude to outdo yourself every day, and a behavior to outdo yourself every day, and find a plan along with a coach. So I guess you say for C, I say curriculum and a coach, or a curriculum through a coach. Because if you knew what your curriculum was, you do it already. This is what I tell my clients whenever I have my first assessments with them, and they start rethinking, oh, maybe personal training is not for me, I'm gonna try to do this on my own. I get into my Thanos mode. You try to do this on your own, and where did it bring you?
Yes. yo, and I ain't gonna lie. When I first started coaching, I felt some kind of way, but now I get into that mode with happiness and joy. It's like, so if you had it, you wouldn't be sitting here. Like if you was where you wanted to be, you wouldn't have made the choice to sit here. So why are we going through this again?
I'm gonna try my way. Well, how's that been going for you?
Right? How's
You're
that
not
working
sitting here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yo, that's a fact. That is a fact. Like what you've done up until this point hasn't gotten you to your desired outcome. So there has to be something that you need to add on to your repertoire. And that's definitely for everyone, because believe it or not, I just signed up for a brand new mentor and coach. That was a hefty penny, I might add, to tell you the truth. But it's elevation, bro. Like if you're not following somebody that's learning and growing, then where are you going?
That's price versus cost.
And success leaves clues, man. Like somebody else say it again.
The price was probably high, but the cost of not doing it was higher.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like missing the opportunity costs way more than the price of that price tag. Absolutely.
Yeah, for real.
And like the one thing about that those price tags that's you don't want to pay those. The price of a missed experience, you can't afford that. No one can afford that.
No, for real.
Yo, so Eddie, man, I appreciate you, bro. You came on this platform and turned it up tonight, man. So I thank you so much for coming through, for blazing the platform. This has been your first time, but it will not be your last time. We're going to come back and have you through here again to give you an update of what's going on in your life, your situation and circumstances, and also to talk about some more of that character and confidence building, man. So before we get up out of here, give your last words to the peoples, man.
Absolutely, man. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, you can follow me on Instagram at GoGetterEddie. If you are looking for a coach to go through a personal fitness transformation of your own, feel free to shoot me a DM with the word change. DM me the word change. And I already know what time it is, and we'll go ahead and get on each other's schedules, and we'll make something happen, and we'll see how I can help you help you. My mother always told me one hand washes the other, and both hands wash the face. So with that being said, man, RJD, man, I appreciate you, dog. For real.
No doubt, my brother. No doubt. This has been one for the books. I'm excited about actually sitting around editing this and watching it over, because I know there's so many jewels that's going to help someone out there in their lives move forward and whatever aspect it is, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, is going to help them, because I know for a fact it's helped me grow tonight in the spaces. So I'm grateful to you, Eddie, once again. Continue on your journey, continue doing what you're doing, because you're making fantastic quantum leaps. And I'm watching it from a bird's eye view, and I'm enjoying the view, bro. It's a phenomenal and beautiful journey, and I'm proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing. You mentioned earlier that you did bury your father in September, and I can tell you right now, as a man with children, I know he's proud of you. Looking down, watching over you, I know he's proud of you. So continue to do your thing. Continue to be the man that he raised you to be, and you can't be no more than that, my brother. So I appreciate you. I love you, and thank you so much for coming on the platform, King.
Thank you, man, for real. You know, his last words to me were, "You're a fine young man, and I don't want to make him a liar."
Word. And you definitely ain't. You have a great head start on it. You definitely have not. Excuse me. Yo, everybody out there, I appreciate you guys for checking us out tonight. This podcast has been is definitely one closer near and dear to the heart, because it's family. I appreciate each and every one of y'all out there that takes the time to like, subscribe, and share this podcast, because the growth, I see it, and we're having phenomenal conversations in the chat. So thank you to all the people that do comment in the chat, and thank you for everyone that does share this platform. But you guys know, confidence is all about how you see yourself. It's not about how somebody else sees you. But guess what? Until the next time we see you, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's okay. Just get those people from around you. Yo, this is RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and this has been another episode of the Uniquely Confident Podcast. Y'all be blessed, because we will. Peace out.